ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Let us see, we are on verse 92, Satasloki. नो देहो नेन्द्रियाणि क्षरमति चपलं नो मनो नैव बुद्धिः प्राणो नैवाहमस्मीत्यखिलजडमिदं वस्तु जातं कथं स्याम् नाहङ्कारो न दारागृहसुत सुजनक्षेत्रवित्तादिदूरम् साक्षी चित्प्रत्यगात्मा निखिलजगदधिष्ठानभूतः शिवोऽहम्. Again, towards the end, we have a summation, and the summation serves two purposes. The first purpose served by the summation is to recall all the things that we have studied. It's a uh, it's a it's a kind of a repetition with the view to firming up the understanding. So that is one part of the summation towards the end. Second part of the summation, the author wants to accomplish in this summation is to have the verses also serve as mantras for contemplation. So these are all very contemplative verses because we have studied them before at length. Remember those days in the early Satasloki days where each verse would take 2 to 3 classes, sometimes 4 classes. And so that's why it was expanded, and it is just now coming to a nice closure. So it's like, you do exercise, you do some yoga, or you do some bench presses and everything, or you run on the treadmill or run on the streets, and in the beginning there is preparation, and you have to you have to do some lunges and get the body ready. Otherwise, it will not cooperate. So those lunges, etc., stretches that one does in the beginning is like Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, all these things, gaining of the preparation, the preparatory steps. Then afterwards, the whole text unfolds itself. And then, at the end of yoga, what do we have? Shavasana, the letting go in the corpse pose, where one is disowning, as it were, the entire body. So the whole workout is in a way given up. The whole workout is given up, and in that giving up alone is the assimilation. And even if you're not doing yoga, if you're doing other kind of exercises, there is a cool down period where you just sit still, lie still, whatever you're doing, and you allow the benefits of that workout, exercise, yoga, what have you, to just assimilate. And here we are in the cool off, cool down period. We are in Shavasana, if you want to take the yoga metaphor. We are in Shavasana. And in Shavasana, you're just lying there. That's all you're doing. You're not doing anything. And here too, we are just looking back. It's called Simhavalokanam, like the lion after catching and eating the prey, lion's share. Even its own babies are not allowed to come when it's eating. It'll growl and hit them and scratch at their faces. That's why it's called lion's share. Then after that, it goes away and it supposedly looks back to say, "Oh, I have done a good job." And now these lesser mortals are eating. My remains, whatever, what I have leftovers, they are eating. So like that, this is the verse that we have. These are verses we have already studied at length. This is a recalling, a regurgitation, a chewing of the cud in the stillness of the assimilation of the knowledge. So that is what the that is how these verses should be taken. So here, the one that I just read, no dehaha. And here we have one more convergence between Sanskrit and English. No means no. Okay. I really think the English word no has come from the Sanskrit words na u. Na plus u, what does it become? No. No dehaha. I am I am not the body. Not the body. This also we have studied. And I'm not the body. This is an affirmation of all the things we have studied. So what does this amount to? What is the summation here? No dehaha. Not the body I am. Aham asmi will come in the next line. It is hidden here in the second word. Naiva aham asmi, that aham asmi is there for all of these things that are mentioned here. Let's just see the translation first. No dehaha, not the body. Na indriyani, nendriyani. Indriyani means what? Sense organs. I'm not the body. I'm not the sense organs. Why? The hetu is given. Hetu means the cause. And the cause is given in the form of a visheshana. Visheshana means an adjective. So the cause, when it comes in the form of an adjective, technically it's called hetu garbhita visheshana. So that which is, this is so technical term, is that when it is an adjective, it is an adjective to the things that are mentioned. What are mentioned? Body is mentioned, and then sense organs are mentioned. I am not. And then why I am not that? And that is given in the form of the cause is given. Usually the cause is given in the fifth case. That is what we have studied. But here the cause is given. How the cause is given in the as a visheshana. Visheshana means as an adjective. How? Let us see. Ksharam. Ksharam means it is extremely finite. Kshara means decay. Subject to decay. It's all subject to decay. It's a decaying situation. And so it's a decay. So therefore, the body is just a decoy. The senses are a decoy because they are all subject to decay. Usually, if the cause is given, it should be in the fifth case, ksharatvat. No, it is ksharam. So dehaha ksharam. Indriyani also. Indriyani, group of sense organs, ksharam. And then one more adjective is given in the form of a cause, and that is ati chapalam. Ati chapalam means extremely fickle. Oh, the body is fickle. No, no, no. That is about what is going to come now here. The sense organs are fickle, yes. But then here, manaha buddhihi. The manaha is fickle. The mind is fickle. Buddhihi, also ksharam, ati chapalam, buddhi is not fickle, but it is ksharam, it is subject to decay. How do we know the buddhi is subject to decay? The best answer here would be, I don't remember. And that's when you know it is subject to decay. I don't remember how it is finite. How is the buddhi finite? I forgot. Aha, this is a live demo of the finitude of the buddhi. Ksharatvam of the buddhi. Okay, so I mean, from basic forgetting. What is basic forgetting? Basic forgetting means, where did I leave my purse? Where did I leave my wallet? Where did I leave my keys? To all the stages of cognitive decline, the whole gamut is included here. And so the buddhi is kshara. The mind is ati chapala. The indriyanis are ati chapala. And that's why I am none of them. This is reminiscent of the Nirvana Shatkam. Nirvana Shatkam. Some people don't know how to pronounce. They say Nirvana Shatakam. Shatakam means 100 verses. No, no, no. There's only 6 verses. Okay. And so Nirvana Shatka. Shatka means group of 6. And so in that, Mano Buddhi Ahankara Chittani Na Aham. I'm not the mind. Starts with the mind because that's where the identification is there. Mano Buddhi Ahankara. I'm not the mind. I'm not the Buddhi. I'm not the I notion. I'm not the emotive faculty. Chittani Naham. Nacha Shrotra Jihve. I'm not the sense organs, the tongue, the ears, etc. The sense of hearing, taste, etc. Nacha grana netre. Neither I am the sense of smell nor the sight. And where did all these come from? Nacha vyoma bhumihi. I am not the 5 elements from where all these the bodies, the subtle body, the causal body, and finally the gross body have come. Nacha vyoma bhumihi. Vyoma, space. Bhumihi, earth. Na tejaha, neither the fire nor vayu, the wind element. So up till now it's a total negation of everything. Then of course the most common mistake to do here is think shunyoham. The buddhi needs something to catch on to. Yes, I'm shunya. Who is saying shunya? Shunya means zero. Who is saying, non-existent? Who is saying I'm non-existent? Me. Is the existent one saying that it is non-existent? That's a very good question. How can I, who is existent, deny my own existence? And the Taittiriya Upanishad that we are studying during the weekends has a wonderful, absolutely wonderful, statement for such people. It says, Asat eva sabhavati, Asat brahmeti veda chet. Because this Brahman is Atma. So the one who is I. So the one who says there is no Brahman is engaging in a rank form of self-negation. That is the idea. And so here also the same sentiments that are expressed in the Nirvana Shatkam are there in this as well. And it also ends in Shivoham. If you look at the last line, the last word in the 4th line. So that is why, so that one doesn't go away thinking that one is existent when everything has been denied. What else is left? Nothing. And so therefore it is said Chidananda Rupaha. I am in the form of Chit, not Chittam. Don't get confused between the two. Chittam, the emotive faculty, Chit, consciousness. So I am that Chit which is consciousness. I am that consciousness which is in the form of Ananda. Because once one is aware of or understands that one is consciousness, then it is that consciousness being all pervasive, being limitless, being the cause of the universe, has to be the source of Ananda. It is nothing but Ananda because sorrow and fear comes out of a sense or a notion of limitation, and here that notion has been dismissed in the wake of this knowledge. So Chidananda Rupaha Aham. And then what is that? Shivaha Aham. The word Shiva means auspicious. And why is this auspiciousness necessary to tag on? It's enough to say Chidananda Rupaha Aham. This Shiva means it negates oneself as the sediments or the remnants of kartritvam and bhoktritvam are negated. So the doership, the costly, the costly side of doership. What is the great costs of doership is in the form of regrets. Kimaham sadhuna karavam, kimaham papamakaravamiti. Iti. How come I didn't do the right thing? What's wrong with me? I'm keeping on making mistakes. That sense of regret from one's own doing, being identified as a doer, is seen as is seen as one's identity. And because of that, one suffers from regrets. I should have done this better. I'm not a good son. I'm not a good daughter. I'm not a good spouse. I'm not a good parent. All these things. These are all, they are there because of the Atma Ajnanam has not worn its welcome out. And so it is still there. Even though one is putting the pesticide of Atmajnanam. Okay, please go, go, off with you. No, little bit I can still stay until it gets, until I'm smoked out, fumigated out. So the ahankara catches hold of the atma ajnanam, identifies with the self ignorance, and it has the sediments of this self ignorance are manifest in the form of regrets. Regret means guilt. So there's a lot of guilt. I should have done this, I shouldn't have done this. Oh no, this is what it is. And then the other way in which the sediments of self ignorance manifests is in the form of hurt. Guilt means I cannot live with my own omissions and commissions. That is the meaning of guilt or regret. Hurt means I am bothered by your omissions and commissions towards me. This is the cause of hurt. Any hurt you take, it is not because of oneself, it is because of somebody else. That person forgot my birthday. In fact, you should yourself forget your birthday. So, in fact, that person, by forgetting your birthday, has done you a favor, has brought you closer to understanding that you have no birth, no death. That is who you are. And instead of thanking the person gets very, very upset. Oh, they didn't remember my birthday. As though there is some contract, in between parents and children and marriage, etc. Okay, I'll remember your birthday always. This is not one of the marriage vows in any religion. But then it becomes a big issue. Children, okay, you can understand. Something to celebrate, something to do that. But at some point, this becomes, in fact, people do not like to celebrate birthdays after a certain age because it reminds them of their own mortality. And they say, oh, no, 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 no parties, please. They want to be acknowledged, but privately. Everybody should phone privately. Nobody should make a big deal. And so this is the thing. And so this whole birthday and all these things is hanging on to some kind of a these are all the ways in which hurt is manifest. You didn't wish me good morning. You didn't wish me happy birthday, and you didn't do this to me. So, other people's omissions is part A cause of hurt. Because you haven't done what you are supposed to do, and that is the half the reason why I'm hurt. What's the other half? Because you are also doing what you're not supposed to do. And that is the other cause of the hurt. So not only your omissions are affecting me, but your commissions are also affecting me. Both your omissions and commissions affect me. Commissions means what? You not only forgot my birthday, omission, but you went out, you went out with your friends. Commission. This is the thing. And you were I how many times have I told you not to do XYZ, but you insist on doing that just to get my goat. Not true, but that's how the feeling is. So why is that person engaging in that? Because the person doesn't, the buddhi is ksharam. That's all. They keep forgetting, and they're not, they're not paying attention. Perhaps that's the reason. But we take, the jival, it internalizes all this. So then the hurt person is born. The guilty person is born. They're not two different people. The same person, 12 hours of one day, guilty. Not in a continuous range, maybe 1 hour guilty, 1 hour hurt. So then other 12 hours hurt. This is how one spends the day. What a travesty! What a waste! And the guilt is centered on kartritva buddhi, the doership, whereas the hurt is centered on the feeling that I am done in bhoktritva. These two constitute the what is that, the impetus for all activities. All activities are to ward off the guilt and ward off, keep the hurt at bay. How to keep the guilt at bay? Be in denial. That's the easiest way. I can do that. Oh, me, no. I always do the right thing. People tell themselves this. And it's one thing to tell oneself this to make oneself feel better, but people tell other people also this. I never make a mistake. I'm always right. What do you mean I'm wrong? I'm not wrong. I always do the right thing. I'm not wrong. You are wrong because you misunderstood me. This is one way to instantly feel better. Don't try it, okay? I'm just being sarcastic. So, this is one way supposedly to instantly feel better because you really don't feel better. That's why I'm saying there is no need to try it because it has been tried and it doesn't work. And then, so this is how to frenetically keep the guilt at bay. One of the ways. Another way is to take on, the prayashchitta karma. All karmas of atonement take on a big role in one's life, both religiously, spiritually speaking, and also on the mundane level. Religiously, of course, one is keeping on saying, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. I didn't mean to do this, I didn't mean to do that. Standing in front of Bhagavan, sitting in front of Bhagavan, this is the thing. Make me not make these mistakes. Oh no, oh no, oh no, sorry, 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 oh God. Okay. That is one manifestation of trying to get rid of it. Another manifestation on the laukika level, on the everyday level, is that the person becomes a quintessential, apologizer. All the time saying sorry. Sorry, I was born. Sorry, I continue to live. I'm sorry, I'm in your life. I'm sorry for this, sorry for that. And the other person, the significant other, grits the teeth and gets very upset. Stop saying sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm saying sorry. This is exactly the person. I'm so sorry that I can't stop saying sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry. So then the guilty person tries to keep guilt at bay and tries to assuage the guilty ahankara by keeping on apologizing, keeping on overcompensating, keeping on making up, because the self confidence and all is eroded. So this is one way to do this. And the overcompensation is also there in the guilty person, not just the hurt person. In the guilty person also, oh, I did this, so I have to make up. That feeling is also there. And then this is the person, because the whole life, all the activities are geared towards not feeling guilty and not feeling hurt. This is the problem. And then Bhagavan, Bhagavan has Bhagavan's own reasoning. And very often I see that the guilty person chooses the hurt person to marry. I see this often. And so the guilty person is is choosing the hurt person. The guilty person is always guilty, and the hurt person, you cannot apologize enough to the hurt person. The hurt person is permanently hurt, and the guilty person keeps apologizing. The hurt person keeps saying it's not enough. You're continuing to hurt me. And so, and that's why Bhagavan doesn't need cable TV, because this itself is a reality show. And in many ways, in most of the ways, how it manifests itself. And so this is no way to live. Especially after studying 91 verses of Satasloki. This is not the way to live. If you hadn't studied Satasloki in such great detail, okay, not that it's an excuse, but at least it's an explanation. Okay, the person is like this because the person has not had Vedanta exposure to such a lovely text. But after the exposure, to continue to live like this is not acceptable, either to you or to or to Bhagavan. Bhagavan wonders, I cleared space in your life so that you could study, and then this is where you have ended up. And then what do you say? Sorry, Bhagavanji, I didn't do this. Stop saying sorry. Assimilate verse 92. So this is the gist of it. Exactly like Nirvana Shatkam, I'm not the mind, I'm not the buddhi. And then neither I am the pranaha. Pranaha naiva aham asmi na eva. Not indeed I am. And this not indeed I am should go with everything. No dehaha aham asmi. Na indriyani aham asmi. Na manaha naiva buddhihi ahamasmi. That ahamasmi is just in one place, but we have to bring it all over the place because it's poetry, it's not prose. And then ahamasmi iti akhila jadam idam. Why I am not this again hetu garbhita visheshana? Because all this is jada. Jada means insentient. The fact that I can call them out, the fact that I can objectify them, shows is a demonstration of their insentiency. Buddhi insentient. Oh, but it lights up. Yeah, but it is subsisting on borrowed light. It's like everything lights up because its existence is due to the Atma. Atma lights up and everything lights up after the Atma. So therefore, everything is jada. Akhila jadam idam vastu jatam. Jatam means a group of things that are insentient. They all belong to the group of things that are not sentient. It's just like the rock. Rock, insentient. I have to say this is a rock. Then the rock comes to light. Similarly, I have to say this is the body. This is how the body comes to light. And then you say this is the mind. This is how the mind comes to light. This is the thought, antahkarana vritti. That is how that comes to light. And so therefore the I'm separate from all of these things. Vastujatam means this group of things. Katham syam. How can I be this group of insentient things? Come on. Have a heart. How can I be this body that doesn't even know it exists? Body doesn't know it exists. And then the mind also doesn't know it is there. I have to say, this is the mind and this is how it is feeling and this is what it is thinking. Buddhi doesn't know it exists. Buddhi is just a place where the thoughts shine. What kind of thoughts? Nishchayatmika antahkarana vritti. Vrittihi buddhihi. Decisive thoughts shine in the buddhi. And what thoughts shine in the mind too? What kind of thoughts? Sankalpa vikalpa patmakam manaha. The wishy-washy thoughts shine in the mind. And decisive thoughts shine in the buddhi. And the wishy-washy thoughts means what? Like, oh, should I do this? Nah, maybe I should do, maybe I shouldn't do. This is what it is. And so that is the wishy-washy thoughts shine in the buddhi. And then what shines in the mind? Shine in the mind, and decisive thoughts, such as I am going to study Vedanta and I am going to stay put and finish the Satasloki. Now it's an easy resolve because only 8 more verses are left. One can do that. And so, but, but it's never too late. So one can make that kind of a sankalpa is made in the decisive faculty called the buddhi. Whereas, should I go? Should I come? Like, on a cold day, the pet, usually cat, claws at the front door. Want to go out, want to go out, want to go out. Then you open the door. Then it stands 2 feet out and 2 feet in, letting all the cold blast inside and keeps twitching its tail. This is manaha. This is exactly manaha, indecisive. And what the cat is thinking, who knows? But it is catatonic right there in front of the door. That's all we know. And then it is, it is thinking, maybe should I go out? No, no, no. It's such a chill. But then these owners are boring. They keep petting me, and I need some space away from them. Maybe that's what it is thinking. Who knows? But this is the manaha buddhi. Indriyani, the sense organs, which are journalists. Oh, you didn't know that? The sense organs are journalists. They write reports of all the pakodas being fried in the neighbor's house. They just give the reports that something delicious is being there. And then the mind says, oh, let's go find out. Maybe there is a handout. Maybe it's free. Let's go. This is what it is. And usually in Indian weddings, it's like that. It used to be like that. Now it is becoming much more westernized. But if you go to the rural area, the whole village is invited. You don't wait for a card or anything. You just see, the awning in front of the house. Beautiful awning made of woven, interwoven coconut leaves, and then hung with fruits, flowers, and then on the and banana trees, etc. And you just say, oh, what's happening over here? And of course they will say, please come in, come in for breakfast, come in for coffee. Everybody's invited. And so like this, the eyes just say, ah, there is a celebration. They're just reporters. The mind says, let's go find out. That's what it is. And the mind, is what is that? The mind is in charge of the sense organs, or should be, and should not go. The mind should be able to say, yes, that's a wonderful thought, but right now something else is happening. Shatashloki class is happening. Come back, nostrils, come back, eyes. One has to do that. And that is what is called buddhi. So buddhi, manaha, and indriyani, there is a connection. First the indriyanis report, then the mind is the first level of pragriha. Pragriha means they are like the reins. And then after that, the buddhi should decide which way to go, which is in the highest interest. That decision should be taken at the buddhi level. Then the one that owns up the sense organs, saying mine, 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 and the one that owns up the mind, the one that identifies with the buddhi, and the chittam and the emotions, is called ahankara. Na ahankara. I'm not the ahankara. The ahankara is very clingy. It's like cling wrap. They used to have this thing. Maybe they still do. I don't know. They used to have this thing, this sheet of plastic. You tear it off, and you want to put it on a bowl, but then it sticks to the hand instead. Then with great difficulty, you take it out from one hand. It sticks to the other hand. Then you say you're going to use a surface, and then you stick it to the counter. Then it is stuck to the counter. By the time you retrieve it, it has become a bunch. And once it's bunched up, it is of no use to seal anything. So like that, the ahankara is like that. It velcros itself to anything it finds with a sense of aham bhava and mama bhava. Aham bhava means I consciousness, and mama bhava means me and mine consciousness. So through these two words, aham and mama, mine, me, and I, it attaches itself to everything that is finite. And then this is basically how it does. And then what happens? It attaches itself not only to the body mind sense complex, but to all the other things it considers belonging to it. What are they? Dara. Dara means spouse. Dara. Griham, house. It attaches to the spouse, it attaches to the house. Attaches to the spouse means what? Very dysfunctional connection here, a dysfunctional identification. And in the sense of, if you love me, you will be doing all these things. If you don't do all these things, it's clear you don't love me. And the poor spouse is in a pickle, what all to do. And even after that love is demonstrated, it's not enough. Pujya Swamiji used to say, the person calls. Now that there is cell phones, everybody can call. So the person calls, are you missing me? The spouse would not even have had the time to miss because the parting was done just 5 minutes ago. The spouse is calling from the car, are you missing me? And everybody knows the answer had better be yes. The no is not an option. So, yes. And the spouse that's left behind uncomfortably says yes. And then what? The next question, how much do you miss me? How much? As though it can be quantified. And so, like this, the ahankara is sitting inside the spouse. Really, you're sitting in the heart of the spouse. It's really corralled the spouse as an extension of itself. And then what? Na sutam, na suta. Suta means the child. And you can see the offspring. There is an identification with the offspring. What all I could not achieve, I'm going to make this person achieve, this little person achieve. Very easy because they are under my control. I'll just tell them what to do every single hour of the day. I'll tell them what to study. I'll tell them who to marry. I'll tell them how to raise their children. I'll insert myself in their life permanently. What a sad, what a sad decision. And then a milder version of this is, of course, the other end of the continuum. This is the extreme version. Milder version, you can imagine the parent saying to the child, are you coming out with me dressed like this? And the teenager says, sure, why not? It's a free country. The last time I checked, I have the right to wear whatever I want. But this is a religious function, and you're wearing jeans with more holes in them than fabric. How can you come out like this? I can. I don't have any problems. Those are just legs. What's wrong with legs? Everybody has them. Everybody has legs. So what if this is little tears and holes in the jean? Actually, the jeans with holes are very expensive. They are called distressed jeans because you have to rub them after they are made. You have to rub them and wear them out specifically. So it costs extra. Yeah, there is one thing called distressed wood also. And unfortunately, it has become quite the rage in certain places. You go to their house, and I went to somebody's house like this, and I almost said, did you have water damage? But then I said, okay, maybe just research this a little bit before talking. Everything looks like, it is like mold and water damage, like all whitewashed, like white patches on the kitchen counters, on the furniture, everything. And as though somebody has scratched. And this is, so, and you pay extra for that. And then so the child is coming out like this, the teenager, and you look at the child and say, how dare you come like this? Why not? The children are there to bring out your insecurities. It's not about them really. And then you will say, because all my friends are coming. See, my friends. My friends are coming. And then what will they think? And then again the teenager says, let them think anything. They're your friends. Why should I care? No, what will they think not of you, but what will they think of me? They will think I have raised a child like this. So really it's not about the teenager. It's about the parent. Apparently, it's about the parent. And so the statement made by the child affects the self presentation of the parent. That means what? The ahankara is sitting in the child now. And then the next one also we have covered, Sujana. Sujana means friends. Okay, any well wishers, friends. So the friends again. What will my friends think? And that's why half the people go shopping. Why? Because in the last potluck, I already wore this sari. Everybody has seen. Actually, nobody even remembers. Everybody has seen. So I can't wear it again. They'll bring the same dish to the potluck because that's the only thing how they know how to make. Chole, which is garbanzo beans. They'll make the same thing each time, but they have to wear different things. They have to come out in new things because of what will people think. What will people think is a disease, and it is called what will people think itis. That's what it is. It's a disease. And then so this is Griha Suta Sujana Kshetra. Kshetra means land. House is mine. But what about the front yard and backyard? That's also mine. The house is mine because the land belongs to me. Mine, 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 mine. Me. And then so this is the kshetra. Kshetra means bhumi, the land. And then vitta. Vitta means money. Money. Even though there is a saying, a fool and the money are soon parted, it's not true. Very few fools there are, if that's the case. And again, to quote Puja Swamiji, he had a formula. He would say, I can make the richest person say, I am impoverished. I can make the richest person poor. How? I just ask the person for a donation. Hey, you, donate. No, Swamiji, I don't have. This year, very difficult. And so many functions in the house, 2, 3 weddings in the extended family, and then this and then that. We already took 2 trips and abroad and 2 trips to India. All these things, the reasons why I cannot give will come out. So it's not that the person doesn't have. The person doesn't want to give you. That's what it is. And so here the vitta means there is some kind of a dysfunctional connection between security and money. Money and security go together, a sense of security. Why? Because the person feels insecure. And if the person feels insecure, then the money is the way to make oneself feel secure until Vedanta comes into the life. After that, it doesn't, it erodes that. Until Vedanta comes to the life, and sometimes even afterwards, and unless the person is sincerely studying, the money becomes a very big impediment. It spoils the relationships really because one thinks one has a lot and then one has some very subtle airs. The gross airs are gone. That is how the aristocrats behaved in the olden times. No, I'm not going to do that. But one will have subtle airs. One orders people around. pick up this pick up this hanky. Why? Because I dropped it. Simple. That's your job. And I'm better than you. So having money doesn't mean you're better. Having money is because you have some karma phala, which could have gone to somebody else or which may go to somebody else. Meaning, right now you have money. Wonderful. But the next moment you may not. One may not. One may not have as much because there are other global factors such as recession. So many things are there. And so, therefore, this is not something to rely on as oneself. Vittadi duram. Duram means that which is far away from the ahankara, which is connected to dara. And dara means the spouse, house, friends, land, money, etc. That which is very far away. What is that which is very far away? The first word of the last line shows that Sakshi. Sakshi. The one who is observing all this. That indeed is very far away. Vailakshanyat, because has nothing in common with the one that is attached, as it were, identified with the house, the spouse, etc., etc. Sakshi. Finally, we have arrived. Sakshi. Sakshi Cheta Kevalah Nirgunascha. So this Sakshi, this witness, Sakshi means witness. This witness is the one that is so far away from this Ahankara with all its shenanigans. The Ahankara has a lot of games it plays, and with all its shenanigans, it is so far away. Why? Because it is Chit, it is consciousness, manifest as what? Pratyagatma, as the innermost one, which is the meaning of the word I, which is the meaning of the word I. It is the innermost, self aware, self evident I. Innermost means from the standpoint of the body mind sense complex, which as soon as they are objectified, they become outside. They are externalized. But then that which is always internal, which is the core of myself, the truth of myself, which manifests in the form of the observer of all the things in the universe, itself never observed, which is what is going to be talked about in verse number 93, which itself is never the object of anybody's observation, and it is evident to itself. And then this is Pratyagatma. But here it's not enough to say, I am the innermost self. That is not Vedanta. Vedanta means there should be an equation to Bhagavan. And that is what is given. Nikhila Jagad Adhishthana Bhutaha. Bhutaha, that which has become, quote unquote, that which is manifest as. Nikhila, everything, the whole entire Jagat, the universe, Adhishthana, the source of the entire universe, because of which everything ticks, is that consciousness which I am. This is a very nice verse for contemplation. This is what I have to understand. Because of which everything ticks, is the truth of the universe, is the cause of the universe, is that Ishvara, which is Adhishthana Bhuta. Adhishthana means the source. In fact, because this Ishvara is, the Jagat is. Now, who is this Ishvara? Chit Pratyagatma Sakshi. That Ishvara manifests as the Sakshi. That is what the Mahavakya means. Mahavakya means I should be equated. The I is now located in the Sakshi, having successfully extricated it from the body, the mind, the senses, the buddhi, the prana, etc. And the group of all the things that I think belong to me or are an extension of me, my people, my land, my money, my house. That which is far away from those identifications is indeed that with which I have to be aligned. I have to become familiar with the Sakshi. That is what the meditation does. Meditation makes you familiar with the Sakshi. So, this Sakshi, which is Chit, which is that consciousness, which obtains, as it were, which obtains in the body mind sense complex, as it were, and which in fact is the truth of the entire universe, is one with the cause of the entire universe. And that Shivaha, the most auspicious one, blemishless, free of guilt, free of hurt, indeed I am. What a lovely self definition. Put a star next to this verse and keep going over the meaning. Even if you don't have Sanskrit under the belt, keep reading the translation and keep assimilating that. Very, very nice verse. Nikhila Jagad Adhishthana Bhutaha Aham Shivaha Aham. So this is the Adhishthana Bhutaha. And so Shiva also means free of guilt and hurt, means happy, because that which is auspicious is happy. Then the next verse does a little bit of what is called Pratyagatma Siddhi. How do we arrive at Pratyagatma? How do we arrive at that Atma, which is the truth of the body mind sense complex, that is given here through a very wonderful metaphor that appears in the first two verses of the Drigdrishya Viveka. दृश्यं यद्रूपमे एतद्भवति च विशदं नीलपीताद्यनेकं सर्वस्य इतस्य दृग्वै स्फुरदनुभवतो लोचनं चैकरूपं तद्दृश्यं मानसं दृक्परिणतविषयाकारधीवृत्तयोऽपि दृश्यादृग्रूप एव प्रभुरिह स तथा दृश्यते नैव साक्षी. The first two verses of the Drigdrishya Viveka are as though already summarized here in verse number 93. Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drik Tad Drishtva Driktu Manasam Drishyadhi Vrittaya Sakshi Drigeva Natu Drishyate. This is the text of the Drigdrishya Viveka, which has been just taken verbatim almost here. So, Rupam Drishyam. This is a very nice prakriya, a pedagogy where you keep, you do Pratyagatma Siddhi by watching that which watches, and the watcher keeps shifting. The observer keeps shifting. And only up to a certain point, the observer keeps shifting. And after the observer has finished shifting, what is there? Then that is the sakshi. When that observer shifts no more, when there is no more a shift, it is called sakshi. You have arrived at the sakshi. So here, how to arrive at the Sakshi? Because until one arrives at the Sakshi, that next step, that I am this Chit, I am this Adhishthana of the Jagat, I am the source of the Jagat, cannot be accomplished. So here, we take a step back to find out how to get with the Sakshi. And going back to Drigdrishya Viveka, same thing. So, Rupam Drishyam. When there is a form to see, Drishyam means an object of an object of sight. Drishyam, Rupam. So, the form is the object, and then when the form is the object, who is the seer? Lochanam Drik. The I is the seer. Not I, capital I, but EYE. I is the seer. The I is the seer of forms, shapes, color. So you need the eyes. Rupam Drishyam. And so when the I is the observer, then the form is the observed. But then as you are observing, let's say, a lovely sunset you're observing, and then what happens? Then there is something fallen in the eye, maybe an eyelash. An eyelash fell into the eye suddenly, and then you're rubbing it. You don't know what happened. Then what happens? Tad drishtva. Now you are not observing the sunset. You cannot, because one of the eyes is impaired. In fact, now you are observing the eye. You're trying to see what fell. Is it a dust particle? Is it an eyelash? So tad drishtva. When the eye is the object, who is the seer? The manas. The mind is the seer. The mind is racing through various thoughts. Oh, maybe I should splash some water. Or no, maybe I should just dab it with a small handkerchief. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. The racing mind is the one that is objectifying the eye, which in turn had objectified the sunset. So now the mind is the seer. Eye is no longer the seer because the eye is distressed. And so then what happens? Tad drishtva driktu manasam. Now, the thoughts in the mind that are racing. Should I look for a towel? Should I go back home? Because here I have come to watch the sunset, but this is not getting better. The eye is watering, the eye is burning, itching. Maybe there is an insect bite. What should I do? Should I go to the doctor? These thoughts that are racing in the mind, then, when they are objectified, when you just say, wait a minute, what's wrong with me? Why am I allowing my mind to go on racing like this? That time, who is the seer? Drishyaha. So the thoughts are drishya. That's why they are in plural. Drishyaha. Dhivrittayaha. The dhi means buddhi. So in the mind and the buddhi here are taken together. In the mind there are some thoughts, in the buddhi there are some thoughts, decisive thoughts in the buddhi and indecisive thoughts in the mind. So all of them are there. And then when the racing buddhi and the racing mind, when they become an object of your observation, who is the observer? Now they have become the object. You see, from the rupa, from the sunset, we went to the eye. The eye was the observer. The sunset observed. The eye had some problems, and then when the eyes are in trouble, then the mind is the observer. And when the mind and the buddhi are racing with all kinds of thoughts, and then you are able to categorize each and every thought, and you even know where it came from. This comes from my family legacy of being worried all the time. I shouldn't go and do this because everybody worries, and I'm also worrying that something is wrong. So this is coming from that. This is coming from my tendency. This is coming from another tendency. The one who is able to notice all this. Drishyaha dhivrittayah. Now from the sunset I have gone internal to observing my own thoughts. Then to whom does this, the dhivrittis, the thoughts become evident? Sakshi. Sakshi drik. Now the seer is the drik. And the seer is called Drik. Now the Sakshi is the Drik. Sakshi is the seer. Drishyadhivrittayah. Sakshi Drik. Now then, okay, now who is observing the Sakshi? Don't ask that question because no answer will come. Sakshi observes itself and everything becomes evident to the Sakshi. So Sakshi observes itself. It is able to, it lights itself up and it lights up the whole universe. So the drishyadhi vrittayah, when the that which is to be observed is the various vrittis in the mind, in the buddhi, then drik eva sakshi. And then that sakshi, what is so special about the sakshi? Natu drishyate, it is never an object. I know it is there because it is self evident, but I cannot see it as an object, just like I see the sunset, the eyes, or even when I objectify the mind. I cannot objectify the Sakshi. Why not? Because then there'll be another Sakshi. Let there be another Sakshi, but then we'll be in an endless regress. Because one Sakshi is observing another Sakshi, is observing another Sakshi, is observing another Sakshi. We'll be here forever then. And so, therefore, that is where it stops because there is nothing more. Because the Sakshi is self observing and it is the observer of everything else. So, in fact, the real observer of the sunset is the Sakshi, the real observer of the eye is the Sakshi, the real observer of the mind and the buddhi is also the Sakshi, to which everything becomes evident. But then why do I say the eyes see? Because the Sakshi is behind the eyes when the eyes see, behind within quotes. And there is a very nice meditation, Dakshinakshi Vidya, very beautiful meditation, where you can half close the eyes and then just see, make them soft, make the gaze soft, and then just see whatever there is to see in the room. Whatever there is to see, you just see, and then let it become evident to you, and then say, and say that it is the Sakshi. You can imagine the Sakshi as a Purusha, as Bhagavan, as a small eye-sized Bhagavan behind the right eye, behind the right eye. And then so you can say, okay, that is the one that is the seer, not the eye. That is how it is. We can try it next time. We can try this little meditation since the verse calls for it. So the verse number 93 is a summation of the whatever we have studied in the first couple of verses in the Drik Drishya Viveka. More we'll see next time. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Thank you.